Good. She was just in New Hampshire today. Question and answer
School District regular board meetings to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Being in a school building, masks are required unless there is a medical exemption. So we'd have masks on. Like speaking in the microphone, of course, you don't have to. All right. This time, need a roll call. Mr. Lager.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Mrs. Issing.
Here?
Mr. Kachasik.
Here.
Dr. Koschko.
Here.
Mr. Bill Leonard is absent. Mr. Dallas Leonard.
Here.
Mr. Matarazzo.
Here.
Mr. Nemec. Mr. Petrucci. Mr. Stovar.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
This time we move on to information. Dr. Harris.
Oh, thank you very much. Usually Mr. Vincent sends me a text, but he's right from the back, so I don't know if the mic's on. Thank you. First, we have our student representative, Nick Ferlino, and he might be sharing some of the stuff that I have on my list. So I'll be crossing it off as we speak.
Good evening, Dr. Harris.
If you don't mind, if you can take your mask to speak in, it might be a little bit better. I know being in the drama club, you are very articulate and do well, but this might help.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Dr. Harris. I have nothing to report for Student Union tonight. I'd first like to apologize for my lack of attendance last week. There was a Tech Week rehearsal for the play last week that I just couldn't miss. There was nothing from last week that the Student Union wanted me to report either. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Marching Band and the Drama Guild, which both have had very successful weekends this weekend. 2 weeks ago, the Marching Band performed here at home for Region 8 Championships for the Tournament of Bands, and we placed first in Group 3 Open, and we're the highest scoring band in any class, recording a 91.1, one of the highest scores in school history. And just this past weekend, we attended Atlantic Coast Championships in Central Dauphin, and the band had an amazing performance there as well. And this Friday, we had a send-off show at our stadium, which a few members of the faculty attended. Mrs. Popovich, Mrs. Haberberger, and Mr. Davis, I know were all there. And I'd like to thank you all for your continued support of the arts that allow us to do what we do. And the Drama Guild also had a very successful this past weekend with Dracula, a comic thriller. It's a show which I was a part of. I played Count Dracula. We had almost 400 people attend the matinee, purchasing tickets. All 3 center sections of the auditorium were filled, and the 2 outer sections were starting to get filled up too, which I had never seen at a fall play before myself. It was one of the best audiences that we've had. So again, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to return to in-person performances once again, and your continued support of the arts. It really does mean a lot to the students, and we appreciate it very much.
Nick, you did a fantastic job, and there were 728 students altogether tickets, because I asked Mrs. Haberberger. I went in the afternoon, and I couldn't believe how many people were there. We don't usually have a high attendance for our fall play, and for 300, it was like 370. So you said how many was in the afternoon?
371 tickets were purchased at the matinee.
371. It was very nice to see. Looked like everyone was looking for something to do, and it was nice to have a live event in person. And the kids did an excellent job, and we were very impressed.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, Nick, I have to say, I was very thankful that I attended. You did a fabulous job, and the entire cast. I told Jen that it was probably one of my favorite productions of all time at Penn Trafford. It really was. It was A++. It was so enjoyable. So great job to you and everybody who was involved.
Well, thank you very much. I'll make sure to pass that along to the casting crew.
One thing for us, might be one last time. You were Dracula. You had a special sound effect. Would you do that one for us? People missed it.
All right.
That's scare me already.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and also your first job as a drum mate. It was
awesome. Wednesday night.
Very precise.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Did you want to say anything about the play? I know you were there as well.
No, we enjoyed it. The kids looked like they were having a blast.
Oh, yes, we all had a really good time with the show, and thank you all for your attendance, for those of you who did come.
And are you ready for the spring musical? When does tryouts for Fiddler on the Roof start?
We're having our audition workshop on November the 30th, and I believe auditions are the 7th and 8th of December with callbacks on the 9th.
Okay.
Have you?
Hopefully.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any questions at all?
Yeah, you took a couple items off my list, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Take care.
Keep your mic on, Joe. Okay. In addition, other information items we have is the para interviews took place. We filled all the positions, so but 2, and we still actually have applicants coming in for that. So I'm very happy to see that people are still applying. If you're interested in getting on the sub list, please see Peggy Julianne, because we always need sub PCAs as well, and that could also turn into a full-time job if we have openings. So if you're considering taking a job as a PCA, remember the starting rate is now $15.50 an hour. So please come forward and contact Peggy Julianne. November 8th, today was Student-Teacher Conference Day at the elementary school, and we also had professional development at grades 6 through 12. Next school board meeting is December 6th, and that school board meeting in December, we only have one meeting. I just wanted to announce that ahead of time because we always have just one in December. Just like we did this past 2 times, we're going to have signups by Friday, December 3rd. If we have more than 30 people, I will move us all to the auditorium. If we have less than 30 people, we will just stay here. So there's not a limit. It's just that we need to know because the kids for setting up Monday night, and actually my crew in the back, would prefer to know by that Friday versus Monday night. So thank you on that. November 9th, which is tomorrow, and this is exciting. The field hockey, they won the Whipples States for the 6th time in a row, 6 years in a row. And tomorrow night they play the first state game for the PIAA at Warrior Stadium at 6 o'clock. So the very first state game will be tomorrow night, and they're going against Fleetwood High School. And I had to look that up. That was actually in Burke County, because I wasn't sure where Fleetwood High School was. Honestly, I never heard of it. But I did look it up. It's in Burke County. So that's exciting. November 12th, another excitement's coming up, round 2 of the football playoffs. We play at home this week as we were the 2nd seed, and remember, we got a bye for last week, but we play against Fox Chapel. The game starts at 7. Just throw that out there because remember, most of the time Warrior Stadium is 7:30, but being a Ripple playoff, it is at 7. Pre-sale info will be released tomorrow. It's going to be $7 for adults and $5 for students, with all gate prices being $7. Remember, these are Whipple guidelines, so we cannot take student passes for Whipple playoff games. And the only live streamed permitted in football is through the Tribune, as they own the rights. So I kind of wanted to get that information out to you. Today in the audience, we have Steve Vinton and Josh Bujakowski, and a former student or a current student. Former student, I thought that was Mickey back there. They're going to kind of talk about the video class at the high school that we offer. We're trying to do a highlight every month of a class and a teacher and the students, and just what we do have at Penn Trafford, just to so everyone gets more familiar with everything. And I'm going to turn it over to Steve Vinton, who's also taping us now live as we speak. So, Jim, is your mic on? Okay.
Hey everybody.
Steve
It's
asked me.
weird being on this side of the camera. All right. Is it working back there? I'm actually switching the meeting from my laptop back there rather than at home. So I just wanted to come in and I was asked to come in and give you a little rundown of what's going on for us. One big event that's coming up in the very near future is obviously the Make-A-Wish Telethon, Wishes for Warriors. Obviously, we did not have it last year. So this year, we're looking forward to getting back to that. Up until this point so far, in the last week and a half, we've already raised $6,260, most of that coming from donations from faculty and staff for dress down days for Fridays in November and December. And my video program has sold $2,000 worth of commercials so far, so that's where we are. So we've already granted one wish, and we're still about a month out from that telethon. It'll be on Tuesday, December 21st, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., maybe 1:30, depends on how much content we have. And it will be streamed on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page and Twitter and everywhere else we can get it. So you'll have plenty of opportunities to watch it wherever you can be. We're going to have in-studio guests. We're going to have live and pre-recorded performances from all across the district. A lot of the elementary and middle schools have already signed up to have certain people sing songs or whatever. My students go out and film all that, bring it back, and we put it in for the telethon. We're also going to be covering all the fundraising events across the district to showcase those events and air those as kind of little news packages. And also the students in my TV and film classes are making projects, short films, commercials, PSAs, how-to videos, things like that that will fill the airwaves for that 4-hour time period. On Tuesday, November 23rd, is the National Student Production Awards. Penn Trafford made we got one nomination, so that's our second national nomination in the past 4 years. I wanted to bring Josh up. As you know, he was in for me last year as I was off on sabbatical, and I wanted him to speak to that because he was directly responsible for that. So I will turn that mic over to him for just a short minute. He can tell you about that, and then I'll come back.
Yeah, so last year we were nominated for 9 nominations and 3 wins at the Mid-Atlantic chapter. So to be nominated for a National Student Production Award, you have to win your chapter for that category. And last year, we were lucky enough to win commercial. Penn Trafford graduates Christian Miller, Austin Varner, and Cody Seepy made a commercial for Seven Springs Mountain Resort, and that was premiered on PTTV as well as being submitted for the Student Production Awards. So with them winning commercial, they were eligible for a national nomination, and like Mr. Vitton said, that was our second nomination for PTTV. So I just want to thank Mr. Vitton and Mr. Quilio and the rest of the administration here for allowing me to come in and kind of help out PTTV, because I'll speak for myself and for Ryan as well. This program is one of the best in the state, and I will go to bat for that, because the amount of people that I've graduated with and I've known that graduated are already working in this field, and they're already miles and miles ahead of people who probably been in the industry for 2 or 3 years. So what Mr. Vitton's doing here is awesome. So thank you guys. That's all I got.
Excuse me, I understand the nominees were from 2,000 high school student entries?
Yeah.
And repeat that again, how many did we get? Out of 2,000 entries, we had 3 people make it.
So if you think about it, a friend of mine that teaches in Ohio, he got 5 national nominations. So he texted this to me. He said, there are 26,727 high schools in the country. I don't know how he found that number, but he did. So it's 0.002% of them were nominated for national awards for the Emmys. So, and we were one of them for the second time in the last 4 years. So that was pretty cool when he put it that way.
You're doing an amazing job. That's why we want to do this for classroom. I think parents need to know and kids need to know. Sometimes kids say, well, I got an empty class. There's nothing I like. They need to know what we offer here. And your class, I mean, you have a TV studio?
Yeah, we have a fully functioning television studio that we can go live to our social media platforms and in-house in the school here. And we do every morning at 8:10 for the newscast. But yeah, it's fully functioning, and we can put it out there and reach just about anybody, anywhere.
How many kids are taken?
Right now, a little over 100 total. And that's counting next semester's intro section.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I heard you brought this young man over here, one of your graduates.
Yeah,
Hey,
Ryan,
come up here.
you want to come up?
I tell you why, I think it's so neat for parents to know what you do here is so important. This guy wanted to go to college, and they said, you don't have to. What you learned at PT, well, I'll let him tell his story. Ryan, tell us about that.
So I was planning on going to college my senior year, and then obviously COVID-19 hit and shut down a lot of opportunities within schools. And online video production didn't sound interesting to me. So I called a few contacts and just started to dive into the video industry. So for the last 1.5 years, I've been working in the video industry for production companies as a freelance production assistant, grip camera operator. And it's just amazing to see. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, what college did you graduate from? obviously I look very young, but I had a mask on at every set I was on, and they asked me what college I graduated from, and they were shocked to hear that I had the experience and the knowledge and the skills that I had, and I didn't go to college. I graduated from high school, and that's all because of the opportunity here at Penn Trafford with the video production classes. Like Josh and Mr. Vinton said, there's no other high school. Very small amounts of high schools actually have the opportunity that Penn Trafford provides for students. It's very special. It's a very special thing that we have here.
You're a special young man to be able to tell us that. Oh, you started your own LLC, I understand?
Yes, I create commercials and content for businesses.
You do a recent commercial lately, or since they talk about commercials, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody tell us.
So I was watching one of our football games on Westmoreland Sports Network, and FSQ, the local, do you call it a gym? No?
Speed-
CrossFit training.
Speed strength.
Yeah, I saw FSQ's commercial on the broadcast, and I immediately texted him. I said, "Did you make that commercial? Because it has you written all over it. I could tell," and he did. So that was pretty cool.
Did you get an A on it?
Yeah, it would have definitely gotten an A.
Okay.
But I can't thank you guys enough. I've had nothing but support since day one here for the program. And starting back in 2016, after the TV program really got up and running, I don't know if you remember, we won that grant from West Penn Power, and that's what kind of it was a springboard for the TV program. In 2016, we had one nomination for the Mid-Atlantic. 2017, we had 2. 2018, we had 5, and we won 3 times. 2019, we had 12, and we won 3 times. 2020, we had 16, and we won 6. And last year, we had 9, and we won 3. So 45 nominations and 15 wins since 2016. And none of that would be possible without the support that we get. So thank you.
We're so blessed with you and students here that are taking that. Ryan, what would you tell someone who's in high school about why should they take the class? Give a little sales pitch here.
Yeah. So I think I'll come from the perspective of students that aren't interested in pursuing video as a career, as not a lot of students think to pursue video as a career. How many graduates from 2020? 15? Could be a 15? Yeah. Around 15 students. And I can say that the majority of students were not planning on pursuing video in their career, in their degree, and they currently are not. But they took it all 4 years of high school, and the reason is because they're learning so much more than video. It's the communication skills, they're learning time management, leadership skills. It's amazing all of the things that are just downloading into these students' brains, and it's not just video production, it's everything else that goes into the real world experience. And I can say that like from any class that I've taken in high school. I'm sure there are other extracurriculars that teach this as well, but in video production, I learned a lot of real world tactics that I'm using now, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, thank you so much. Anybody have any questions for you guys?
I do. Mr. Vinton, 26,000, what was the number?
I should have fact-checked that myself, so I tell my students to do that for the news. 26,727, so I'm hoping my colleague Mark Lowry in Columbus was correct. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mark.
Fact-check you. I was just curious. Now, that is theoretically the total number of high schools
Yeah.
in the United States.
Probably, they all don't have programs, but so.
And out of that number, do you know how many have this type of program?
I can speak to our region, the Mid-Atlantic, which is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. There are 26 chapters across the country for the Student Production Awards, which we call the Emmys. How many are in our region? Do you remember? 200? A couple hundred at least in our region. So.
So there's approximately one chapter per 1,000.
Roughly, yeah. Obviously the Suncoast chapter is pretty big in California, but yeah.
And then some other regions.
Yeah, they've got some powerhouse schools in Texas and California and Florida. We're knocking on the door nationally, that's for sure.
Well, you keep up the good work. You are appreciated.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any comments? We Yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to comment, if you haven't had an opportunity to see the Make-A-Wish telethon, it is so impressive. We've come up every year, but it is just amazing.
You're all invited to stop by the studio. I might not be able to talk to you because I'm running around like crazy, but
Come with a check.
yeah, come with a check. And if you know any local businesses that would like to participate as a sponsor, drop me an email and let me know. Okay.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here tonight.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Steve. Congrats, Ryan. Turn it over to you, Jim.
No, I wanted to make one comment. I always encourage you, please check on our website. There's a COVID case tracker, and it's always there every day. And just to let our people know that might be watching, we have, as of today, updated 11/5, we have 14 active cases in our entire school district. It's out of 3,800 kids. So I'm thankful things have gone well.
Does that include the staff too? We have another
No,
role.
staff, we have one.
Oh, okay.
So I've got one staff and 14, so 15 active cases in the entire school district. So I just want to make sure people know, and it's available on the website. Please check it, give you an idea. All right, I think at this time, turn it back to you. No?
Nope, turn it back to
I
visitors.
gotta do- Yep. Okay, at this time, we're going to be having visitors, and we encourage people to come to visit. We do have to sign in ahead of time so we know how to prepare. That lets us know from the facility whether we can have our meeting here in the auditorium. So that's why we ask people to call in ahead of time so we can do this. Tonight, we're going to ask that you state your name, address, and group affiliation, if any. Your statement will be limited to 5 minutes in duration, and all statements shall be directed to the, oops, I'm cut off already. All right. Directed to the president, and no participant may address or question a board member individually. You may be interrupted if your statement is too lengthy, personally direct, abusive, obscene, or irrelevant. I have a list of residents who wish to address the board tonight, and the names are called in order which you signed up. It's pretty easy because there's only one. So at this time, Andrew Selvig, would you please step up?
Well, you know, I'm Anders Selvig. Can you hear me on this thing? So I want to congratulate, oh yeah, 1174 Claire Elliott Road. I'm glad you guys got that contract settled. And right now I found out rat-faced big bad Governor Wolf gave the blessing for schools for in 2 months, over 2 months, to let us choose whether we want to keep the mask on or not. It's been about 2 months since he did that, isn't it?
September 6th.
Yeah. Right now, they're handing out vaccinations for kids, all ages in the schools. And from what I'm hearing across the board, especially like all of Allegheny County, they have over 400 cases still going on with the mask mandate still in effect. And with all these vaccines out here, I'm just wondering if in 2 months, all these kids are vaccinated and they still have this many kids getting the coronas. You think they're honestly going to say, you guys have your power back? No, they're not going to do it. These are power-hungry people. They don't care about anything. They don't want to give you your power back. They don't. All they care about is money. That's what's going on in this whole situation. You know, money, money, money is all that matters to these people. Keep your mask on. You want to buy more masks? Sure. I remember when I could get a 10-pack of masks for 99 cents. And then in this COVID crap, it goes up to $20. 50-pack of masks. Oh, you're looking like 60, 70 bucks right there. You know, they're gonna, if they do take this away, how long is it gonna be until they say no? We're gonna force it again. I just don't understand this. Ron DeSantis made mask mandates illegal in Florida, yet 18 schools said no. Now, there was a little girl, which I spoke to someone today about, in Florida, and she had Down syndrome. She still has it. Enlarged tongue, and she also is nonverbal. her family, her father, put her on the bus, no mask, because the governor said no to this. What happens? After 6 weeks of them tying it so tight to this girl who has Down syndrome, they forgot to take it off before she went home. She gets home. Her mask, because of her enlarged tongue, is engulfed in, or whatever, with spit. She can't talk. She can't complain about it. She's just a little elementary girl. Imagine this. She goes to the bathroom. Maybe they let her go by herself. She starts choking on her tongue or her saliva. And no one will know because she can't speak. This is the madness that this country has been driven to. It's disgusting. Now, I have a long history of not wanting to trust medical professionals. My son, 4 years ago, while my father was dying of cancer, couldn't walk. No one knew why. Took him to Children's 3 times. My wife took him twice. My father took him once. They said it was the flu. This is Children's Hospital, by the way, like I said. And they kept saying it's a flu. So I call him and I say, I'm going to tell you something right now. My name's Anders Selvig. I'm serving in the United States Air Force. Or actually, wait, nope, I wasn't. Anyway, so I said I was a veteran. And I said, I'm not going to take that my son has flu for the answer. You're going to admit my son until someone finds out what's going on. They still don't know what causes it, but it was a neurological disorder. Another reason I don't trust it, 1988, my mother had a brain scan, okay? I did my senior research project here with Walt Bechtel. I didn't make it through it without crying because it was my mother. But when I was 14, my mother passed. I've talked to you about that. In 1988, that CAT scan, I looked at it compared to the one in 97. Exactly the same, but it was a glioblastoma multiforme brain tumor, stage 4. I don't trust these people.
I understand. Andrews, I'm sorry, but our time is going to
All
be up
right.
now. But thank you so much for coming and sharing personal information.
Check out Dr. Fauci with his fecal torture stuff he did too.
Thank you very much. All right. There's no other speakers. Thank you, though, for other visitors that have come tonight. As far as old business, Dr. Harris?
There were no items in their old business.
Okay. And now we have to move, just to let you know, before this meeting, we did have an executive session in which we discussed personnel, litigation, and attorney advisory on COVID-19 safety measures in lighting and in ventilation for airborne controls. So those are things that were discussed tonight at our meeting. All right. At this time, we move to our consent agenda motion. Items to be removed from consent agenda for separate action. Does anyone have anything to be removed?
Dr. Harris, do you want to mention those PCAs?
Yeah, the PCAs are on tonight, the ones we're hiring. They're under the consent agenda. I was going to try to read the names, but I couldn't. I was looking ahead. I couldn't see where they are, the ones we're hiring, under the minutes. Because I saw the athletics, and that's I wanted to do that during information. 'Cause I wanted just to give a shout out to the ones who are coming on. Is there a list on? Hold on. All right. Please look, so, because like I said, I didn't see them.
As a positive result of the contract being signed, we were able to make these additions much needed for our PCAs. And we're so blessed to be able to.
I was very I was very happy.
And Dr. Harris, you were able to interview quite a number. And how many did you choose, were able to hire?
Well, there should be about 6 on there for tonight, and then maybe even some in there as subs.
And those that might not remember, PCAs are personal care assistants. These are individuals that work with our special needs kids, walk hand in hand, so to speak, with them to make sure they're protected and safe and learning in the classroom. Classroom teachers tremendously appreciate them because different kids in the classroom, sometimes you need someone there to help. And it was very valuable,
have it there?
very much appreciated.
Is it on there? All right, so Mr. Ingles is going to read it for me. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, we have Nicole Lochner, PCA.
Jenna Grabowski, PCA, Dana Sikora, PCA, Beth Schrupp, PCA, Ashley Bianco, PCA, and Danny Blasio, PCA. So they'll be all hired at starting rate at $15.50 an hour.
Right?
What was that number? How many?
6 of them. I still need 2. I need 1 for a half-day kindergarten child and one for a 7-hour shift. So if anyone else knows of anybody, please. I have a couple more we're interviewing this week, but I'll take extra because I'd rather have more, the merrier, so.
At this time, does anyone on the board wish to remove any item from the consent agenda? Okay, then can we have a motion, please, to approve the consent agenda items?
I do have a question on the motion. Well, since we're approving this consent agenda, the list that would be included in this motion as newly hired employees.
Yes.
For clarification for the minutes. Oh, okay, it might be on the computer.
It's in the, it's embedded in the attachment within the board docs.
Okay.
Motion.
Okay, it's been moved. Do we have a
Question?
second?
Question?
Move second, any question? And roll call vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, at this time then, we can move on. We move on to Dr. Kasho in athletics and extracurriculars.
Mr. President, we do have a few athletic and extracurricular personnel we'll be hiring here for the winter session. So the motion to approve the following winter athletic and extracurricular positions. Salary is determined in accordance with the negotiated agreement. Employment is contingent upon receipt of all necessary documentation. Winter color guard, co-instructor Janelle Walker. Carly Frank. Winter percussion instructor Joshua. Bowling coach, our own Brett Lego. Swim coach David Babbitt. Swim coach assistant Mark Martini. Swim coach assistant Kim Graziano. Junior high wrestling coach Chris Hartman. Junior high wrestling coach Tyler Haydad. Boys basketball head coach Doug Kelly. Boys basketball assistant Andy Wanagro. Boys basketball boys head coach Junior High. 8th grade green Nick Lynn. Assistant Dave Moya, and basketball girls assistant Olivia. Salaries are listed in the document.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote.
Need a second.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Second? Question?
Question.
All right. Questioned, seconded. At this time, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
That'll be all, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. All right, this time our solicitor's report. Thank you very much. Then at this time, we have an adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Moved, passed. When do you want to get out of here? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good.